You enjoy that as a drink? What did I get here? I got healer ladies. A tip about the flute becoming the bomb. I have a long road ahead. And this kid telling me not to get lost in a swamp. Yeah, do something different. That's what I do when I go buy sodas. I'm like, yeah, I don't care if I think everyone's the best soda I've ever had. They're different. Yeah, my sister-in-law's... Somebody keeps giving her these ginger beers. I posted one of them to the Larry's Discord that... I don't remember what it was called. But... apparently some guy keeps giving them to my sister-in-law. Not realizing that she is not interested in the advances of men. And then she keeps giving them to me. And so I popped one open the other night. We were having sausage. We were having like sausage and peppers and onions. And, you know, I was like putting them in a bun and Dijon mustard. And man, let me tell you that ginger beer does not go well with Dijon mustard. I immediately like took the bottle of ginger beer, put the cap back on it, and put it back in the fridge. It's just ginger ale, yeah. It's just a cool name that makes it not sound like that drink that you were given as a kid when you were sick. It's not ginger ale, it's ginger beer. It's the same thing, but it doesn't remind you of being home with a tummy ache and throwing up. I know, you don't like Dijon mustard. I think I probably thought about that when I had that moment. In theory. So it's hard to know what people are passing off as what. No, does not go with other acidic things, I think. I don't have jump still! An apple cider, you know, can be alcoholic. Or not alcoholic. Yeah, no kidding. I really want jump. Follow the road, I guess. Let's go over here. Oh no, I'm gonna get lost in the swamp! This is where all the people get lost. There is better be a graveyard, just like a big pile of skeletons down here. I'm gonna be so happy. Oh. Aikman. Big pile of bagoos. So we went down a hole and ended up somewhere very different. Which isn't that weird of a thing from the randomizer perspective, because that's what randomizer used to be. You just go into a cave and appear in somewhere completely random, basically. Not random to the game itself, but you had no idea where it was gonna take you. It could take you anywhere. Prison town. I don't like to look at this tile below the door. Am I locked in here? Am I a prisoner? Through the underworld. Since I'm not keeping my cards close on anything for my hack anymore, my main overworld was going to have a surface, and it was going to have an underneath, And what I didn't know how to do was... What I wanted to do that I didn't know how to do was make it so that you could transition from the top world to the bottom world while in a side scroll. That's one of the limitations that this game we don't have a hack for that I know of, is being able to enter a side view area and come out into a different world, which is not something that's necessarily happened here yet, but they mentioned the underworld. And the reason I wanted to be able to do that is, for one thing, it'd be different, so the players would all be like, they'd be experiencing something different from the game. But it was also not just that, but I was going to be able to, like, block game progression again in a different way by, like, you know, having the glove block a cave. The cave blocks you from an entire world. And I wanted to create another, like, this temple. We were in that desert area before, and, you know, it's all... There were, like, roads in the desert that didn't connect to each other, same as there were in the swamp here. And there were gonna be some ruined roads that led to this, you know, ancient temple that, again, was going to connect from the top world to the bottom world. So I would have needed a lot of hacking that I didn't know how to do yet. It'd be really cool just to have that kind of, and that's all you're really doing with ROM hacks, is you're trying to hide what the game was in a new package and have it be familiar in some ways and unfamiliar in other ways. So I wanted the world to connect in an unfamiliar way. I wanted the world to unlock in an unfamiliar way. Chris, thanks for the host. Liz Alpha has captured my grandson. Please save him. Yeah. No doubt. Okay, so I gotta save him to get in that house. But, I mean, how am I gonna do that? I gotta go through the underworld to even get out of here. I will find prison temple. Temple, underworld. These ideas I was thinking about like a week ago. I'm in the car, because I had to do some driving. Thinking about my ROM hack and if I wanted to go back to it. And I was thinking about the ideas that it was, and so you know, in college, one of my favorite courses was comparative literature. It wasn't comparative literature, it's called World Lit, but we spent an entire semester on comparative literature, where all, you know, like, all stories are the same is kind of the idea. The hero's journey, I forget the guy's name at the moment, the guy who came up with, like, the framework for what the hero's journey was based on all the folklore that's been passed down. I was thinking about it in that sense, and I'm like, you know, aware that probably whatever I thought of is stuff that I just drew from other work. And I realized that one of the earliest ideas for my world, it was just Shining Force 2. In Shining Force 2, you start out, and then it happens, you didn't even know it because you're just, you know, living your life. But it turns out that the place that you live in is the center point of a seal for an ancient demon that's sealed, like, under the world, or was, and there's this tower that rises out of it. And the start of Shining Force 2 is that some thief, you know, just trying to make some money, unseals the demon. And so when the demon gets unsealed, it creates a giant valley, it, like, you know, it rends the earth and it creates this giant valley, and then you flee to the other continent. And then you eventually come back and beat it, which was basically the whole thing that I'd come up with. I was like, you know, Zelda 2, it's been thousands of years since, and people now live, the lava from the volcano has cooled, and people now live on top of where the Great Palace was. And the Great Palace is going to become unearthed through a series of events, and you're gonna have to go to the other continent, not to flee it, but to gather the equipment necessary to fight the ancient evil buried below. But also, what I wanted to do with that idea was really actually kind of simple almost. It was just gonna be that the game had chapters, and every time you finished a chapter, which was kind of like a world, you know, like Eastern Continent, you'd always start on a game over on the next chapter. So when you went over to the other continent, you game over. You didn't go back to the starting point. You started where you landed on the continent instead. So the game was like, you know, you couldn't go back, because when you are meant to go back to the other world, it's going to be the changed world, where now the Valley of Death is exposed, and the Great Palace. And I was thinking about that, I'm like, oh, it's just Shining Force 2. Is that Breath of the Wild 2? I don't know. Yeah, the whole tower connecting the under and overworld, also Final Fantasy IV. I'm sure that's been used many times. That's quite a trope. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? You'd be kidding yourself if you think you're not making something that's been made before. That's the entire thing, isn't it? Like, what is really different? You just make it seem different enough that it feels new. Art. I guess this is the underworld. I'm going through it. So what happens when I get out of the underworld and I just fall in that hole in the swamp again? Well, why would I need that when I just got a heart container? Does it refill magic? Because I've got one spell, and it deals with my life as well. And I don't use it. Hey. Hey. Upstab. Alright, nice. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I don't care. I wouldn't care if if I made a game that was part of a comparative literature of video games. That's not a holdup. The holdup is hacking. It's programming. That's the holdup. Hey. Nah. Alright. Oh. Wow, I should use the shield spell more. Yeah. Actually, when we were doing that comparative literature, we were often looking at religious texts. The Gita was one. If you consider Egyptian text religious because so much of it's about, you know, funeral rites, the afterlife, things that there's no proof of. And other you know, anything that says what to do really is just another form of it compares to religion, like it's how guidance of behavior or even just like, you know, sanitation or cleanliness, which are important. I mean, but they're all trying to get toward the same thing, just how to live. Hello, I don't have reflect. What the hell? I don't have reflect. What am I supposed to do about you? Yeah, I'll just have to go backward. Four, 5, 6 already. Nightmare of Ganon was super easy to get the levels as well, because the monsters kept respawning and there were tons of large monsters in that game. So it was really easy to get the level ups. But, not really a complaint either. Don't really care that it was easy to get the level ups. Did the egg not turn into an Aikman? Winter Solstice, no experience anywhere, yeah. That's the... Whenever I think about speedrunning a Zelda 2 hack, the biggest holdup is like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to figure out where to get experience from. I don't want to do it. That's why Resurrection of Ganon was okay. I think I even do... Yeah, I did New Game Plus when I speed ran it, because I was like, I don't want to deal with experience in the run. I was New Game Plus. That's the worst part of Zelda 2, by a long shot. With routing. Trying to figure out how you're gonna get your levels and still go fast. Ugh. Alright, take the kid in. Woo! Fun elevators. want to go there. I'll go there. Oh, hey, that's just... No. That's something different. Maybe the other cave goes there. Hold on, excuse me. I'm gonna keep distracting myself from what I could be doing. Alright, I'm gonna go do it now. Prison Town music. Yeah, Dick Shake's got it figured out, and when you're gonna game over 1,000 times, it doesn't matter what your XP route is. Well, now you tell me. I mean, I figured that out, and that's why I'm here. Yes, right. To be able to bank change on side transitions. Yeah. You always bank change from the overworld view, don't you? Always. Unless you're what, you got dynamic bank change? Like like they're used in Resurrection of Ganon for the towns. And there's just the way that the editors build it seems like there's a real limit to the number of bank changes, dynamic bank changes you can have. But I want to go this way. Hold on. I guess that going left from this drop was just the way to go. What happens if you go right? Did it just put you back in the swamp, or no? Oh, what's this? And you also, for every bank change, you might need another entry to change it back to the other bank when you leave the screen, unless the screen was otherwise going to bank change already. Alright, so Karok. Yeah. Well, I know a lot more than I used to, and I still don't know a lot. You don't have to know that much to make a ROM hack of the game. If you've got CF's editor. Oh, the toenail almost helped me. Can't remember which way it goes. Forward. Right now, it's not overly obvious that we're in Death Mountain. But I think we are. I think we're in the Death Mountain Bank. I think the way that we ended up in the so-called underworld and the prison camp, it really differentiated itself from the vanilla mechanic. Oh, well, yeah. It might be Maze Island. I mean, Death Mountain, Maze Island. Actually, yeah, because we did go east. We took a raft ride to the east, and then we transitioned. So yeah, it could just be Maze Island. But again, we swapped so easily from the east, or from the west to the east, that we didn't do all of an East Continent. It wasn't like, do East Continent. End East Continent by finding the raft. Go to West Continent. Also, there's a Death Mountain that's attached. There's a Maze Island that's attached. We're not following that formula. We've done a little bit of East, we've gone West, we've done a little bit of West, we've gotten thrown into the underworld, Maze Island. Doesn't really matter if it's Maze Island or Death Mountain, I suppose. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be constantly aware of what I'm doing and how it relates to the vanilla game. Which Shadow Knight was actually pretty good about. Even though Shadow Knight is relatively formulaic as far as east, west, east, Death Mountain, the Maze Island is fucking genius in Shadow of Night. It's absolutely genius. And Journey of the Day is it's very, obvious that you're doing these transitions to the various continents, but that game ends up being a lot of backtracking, so it's different. Okay, I gotta go. So I guess we just started this palace, maybe? Might be an entire palace after that Karok, I don't know, because this game is doing a pretty good job of breaking the mold. So I'm just gonna back up to the front of the palace, so I don't lose track of where I've been. And I'm gonna call it for now. Thanks for hanging out, listen to me yak.